People of the internet, Howard here, putting you guys another video game commentary. In today's game, I'm using my FC Barcelona FC Bayern hybrid, and I got a new player, you guessed it, team of the tournament, Thomas Müller, who will start from now on over my old Robert Lewandowski, simply because he's faster, has a better shot, and although he's not quite as strong, he's still a very solid player with pretty nice passing stats. As you guys can see here, just a universal sign in FIFA, whenever you see your opponent switching between their kits, use the switch ears, because obviously the opponent is just trying to tell you that, hey, the kits are going to clash. So if you have a kit that, for me obviously, if you have a kit that wasn't red, I wanted my opponent to switch to that kit. And so my opponent here has a really strong side, Bundesliga side in fact. Lewandowski up top, Marco Reus and Arjen Robben in the forward positions, Götze, Mkhitaryan and Gundogan in the midfield, and their defense was comprised of Alaba, Boateng, Benatia, and Piszczek, with Manuel Neuer in goal. Manuel Neuer is an amazing player. If you can either get his old 86 rated player or his new 90 rated card, they're both amazing cards. And if you guys have the 200,000 coins to, I guess, afford it, you guys should definitely shell out for it, because it's clearly amazing. And so here in the beginning, I was just trying to test out my Thomas Müller, see what he could do. But unfortunately, I was dispossessed on my very first possession, and thankfully, Piszczek was able to come by and intercept that pass intended for Marco Reus. Here, as you guys can probably tell, I was actually able to move Suarez into the CM position since I got the new team in the tournament, Thomas Müller, because I obviously wanted him in the team because he's a solid player, good pace, pretty good passing stats for a forward, an amazing shot, and so I thought he'd play pretty well in the CM position, especially since he still has all that FC Barcelona chemistry. Unfortunately there, Mkhitaryan got home free, but thankfully he skied it high. He probably thought that Piszczek was going to be able to catch him. I don't think I would have been able to catch him, so I was really happy to see that just sail over the crossbar. With Manuel Neuer right over Manuel Neuer's outstretched arms. Unfortunately, I was trying to just sweat it out with Neymar of all people, but my defense just been solid. PK right there was able to just head it away, and so sometimes you don't want to try to hold possession when you're on defense. You just want to try to get the ball away so that your opponent can't have easy possession in front of the goal. Because if you just give it away in front of the goal, then there's nothing you can do. Thankfully right there I was able to get it out, and as you guys can see, I literally just pressed the B button trying to get it out. And although I could have gotten it to Messi, he just wasn't strong enough, wasn't tall enough to get to it, and Boateng was, of course, but since he's, I think, 6'4", and just has amazing strength stats in this game. And so here I'm just trying to hold up the play it kind of slow. I probably should have passed it up to Thomas Müller right there, but I chose to pass it to him right there instead. And unfortunately, if Thomas Müller had a stronger weak foot, he only has his 3-star left weak foot, that probably would have tested Manuel Neuer. But unfortunately, he just shot it wide, which was, I don't know. It was a shame. So it was such a nice opportunity with amazing build-up play. But there, Lewandowski, for my opponent, was just trying to sweat it up. He was trying to pass it back to Gundogan, but thankfully he couldn't. And thankfully right there, he just passed it to my keeper. Probably an accident by him, trying to pass it to the middle, or just not expecting the ball to get to his player that quickly. And so there I was just trying to get a cheeky chip through ball to Schweinsteiger, but unfortunately, my opponent was able to intercept it and put himself on the counterattack with Reus on the ball right here, who took a nice little long shot, but of course Manuel Neuer was able to get on the end of that. And thankfully my opponent just shot it wide right there. But just so you guys know, when you guys see a keeper that dives even when the ball goes out of play, you know he's a good keeper. Because my old keeper of Weidenfeller probably would have stood there and just expected it to go by. But when you have really solid keepers, top-notch keepers, as Manuel Neuer is, who is in my opinion the very best of the entire world, you'll see him dive for balls that are definitely going to come out, and making amazing catches on plays that other keepers just would have parried away. And there I was just trying to run it out in the last minutes, in the closing minutes of the half, trying to get it up with Messi, trying to get it also to Neymar right here, who has put all of his effort into keeping it in, but unfortunately, Messi right here. I was trying to get a long shot with him, but it was blocked by Jerome Boateng, who is just a solid defender, who I also have on my team, because he's just so fast, so strong, and so good at tackling. Unfortunately, that wasn't the best half for me. I had 0 shots on target, but thankfully it was 50-50 possession, so at least I was having as much of the ball as my opponent did. And there, I just had a horrific first touch with Thomas Muller, but it wasn't really his fault, it was my fault for holding the sprint button. And right there, thankfully I was able to dispossess Mario Götze from the ball right there. And here I'm just trying to hold the play up, as I've said time and time again, run it up with Messi, who was able to get home free, but unfortunately, I just had a bit too much power. I was trying to curl it around the keeper, but I held the B button for just a millisecond too long, and it went right over the crossbar, which made me furious. And so right there, Suarez with another horrific first touch. I need to learn how to just get a stronger first touch on the ball. And here Mario Götze was able to get a nice little fake shot, but unfortunately, even though Manuel made the first save, he couldn't make the second one. And somehow Arjen Robben, of all people, who is known for his finishing with his left foot, not his head. So he was able to put the goal in after Manuel made an amazing save on the initial shot by Mario Götze. And here I was determined to see what my Arjen Robben could do, trying to run it up the wing. But of course, my Arjen Robben couldn't hold the ball close enough and just sprinted it right out. And so here I was back on my heels. My opponent was able to get nice little through balls, but thankfully I was able to get a number of last-ditch tackles. And so there was Messi. I was trying to get it up to Muller, but unfortunately he stopped right as I was passing it. I probably should have passed it a millisecond earlier, because the reason that Muller was probably stopped was to avoid being in an offside position. And so here Alaba was just trying to sweat it up in the wing, run it up, but thankfully he passed it right to Piszczek, who is actually an amazing right back. Not only one of the best in the Bundesliga, but one of the best in the world. And I had no idea what Arjen Robben was doing right there. I was trying to pass it up to my team of the tournament, Thomas Muller card, but of course he passed it to Piszczek on the wing. And there, Thomas Muller, although he was tired, I was trying to just bang one home, near post OP, trying to at least win a header with Lionel Messi right there. But unfortunately, I couldn't recreate the magic that my opponent had made with his first goal. And so there I was trying to get some fake shots, trying to get it in. I should have gotten a penalty right there, but the ref, of course, was blind, didn't call it, and allowed Marco Reus, my opponent, to get into open positions, who got it up to Lewandowski, who, fortunately for me, was dispossessed by this amazing slide tackle by Gerard Piqué, who, although is pretty slow, is just an amazing player in this game. And there, I was just trying to sweat it up to Neymar, but unfortunately, Manuel Neuer, the sweeper keeper as he's known in real life, was able to run it down and intercept that pass. Thankfully, right there, I was able to get the ball to Piszczek, but there, I had no idea what Gerard Piqué was doing. He tried to steal it from Manuel Neuer, my own keeper, my own defender, fighting for the ball. And here I knew that if I lost the ball, the game would be over, so I was just trying to get a nice little free ball. First shot was denied. Second shot, yes please. Goal by Lionel Messi. Amazing determination to put that away, and an amazing celebration right there with the nice little backflip. Obviously in the 90th minute, there's no coming back from my opponent. I was able to get a 1-1 draw. Although I had played pretty poorly, as you guys have seen, I was able to play it out and get the draw. And that's game. My team did pretty well at the end. I was happy because although I played a pretty terrible match, only having one shot on net, I managed to win the game. Thanks. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new. And as always, don't go change it.